Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Throwdown.
Hooray!
Cass,
Hi.
Duff, welcome. How you guys
Hello.
doing today?
Doing well.
Great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited for a topic that is video game centric, which we know we all love and our viewers enjoy. And today we are going to be debating which is the greater puzzle game of the late 80s, early 90s. Is it the iconic Tetris, or is it Dr. Mario? Dr. Mario? Dr.
Mario.
That could be a debate in itself. We already had that discussion.
Mario.
That's a fight for another
Anybody
day, I
says
suppose.
Mario. Anybody who says Mario has never met anybody actually named Mario.
No.
I know, but they met someone named Mario.
There you have it.
You don't even have to talk, Duff.
No, I do.
I'll just say what you're going to say. Unfortunately, you do.
Damn it.
All right. Back to the
Both
battle
dies.
at hand. This is a puzzle battle. This is not a pronunciation battle. So we're going to throw some time on the clock. Let's see if I remember how to.
If you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Have a
Can you
timer
do
up,
it?
I could click it. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Please do. How much time are we going to throw up there today? What do you want to do?
5.
5 minutes? Yeah, we'll do 5 minutes. That's good.
5 minutos.
Hours.
Oh, hours. I didn't bring any
5
food.
hours.
That is a
Yeah.
lot of Ricky Martin. Duff, do you have the gong ready?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah,
So-
let me
so
get
to
that.
throw it
I have
out with
to.
the
I have to get
dog.
out of the closet here. I put it away in some storage.
And you've been there for 38 years, so
Coming
I'm
out
at,
of the closet.
Ugh.
it's going to be a tough conversation. You had a tough conversation with the milkman in an episode.
Yeah,
Have a
it's
tough conversation with Chelsea.
you're. It's gonna be something. I'm just gonna have to sit down. We're just gonna have to go through some things. That's what it is.
We're
It is
here
what
for
it
you.
is. Thank you.
We
Thank you.
support you in all your endeavors.
Anything you need, Duffy, we're here for you.
All right, I have the gong. The gong
right.
is ready.
Get it on.
Cast, got the timer.
Can you
Yes,
ring?
sir.
Can you ring it for me though, Scales?
Sure. Ready? I'm going to give you
All
one
right.
of these.
He threw the Hadouken at the gong.
And I'm going to throw it to Duffy's going to lead us off here. Tetris versus Dr. Mario. Duffy, who do you got?
Well, it's I think Dr. Mario, but again, that's another episode. If I'm gonna be completely honest here, never really played Dr. Mario that much. I've seen you guys played a bunch. I've played it a few times here and there. Never really got into it. I was always more of a Tetris guy because that was just what was shown to me early on, and I just love the music from Tetris too. It's always been something that's kind of, pulled me in. I know you guys, there's been plenty of those times in college where I saw both of you and I would just sit there for hours watching you play all those kind of puzzle games. And it never a huge thing for me, but if I'm going to go this route, Tetris is always going to be my number one pick for this. Just the music is catchy. It's those games kind of give me a little anxiety because I just, I know higher scores, the faster you can go, but yeah, I always just, I'm not very good at them. But if I am going to play one of them, it's going to be Tetris, and Dr. Mario was just never really anything on my my radar too much. But I know both of you will probably have some different opinions, varying opinions on that. So I'll pass the buck over to one of you guys.
All right. So it's Tetris for Duffy. I'm going to go second here because I'm going to be going against Duffy. As much as I love Tetris as a young Scales, I love Dr. Mario a little bit more. Dr. Mario, just a little
Hey,
more.
look, you said Dr. Mario.
I do. I interchange them, and you guys know this.
He go-
Sometimes I say Mario, sometimes I say Mario. This
You've
is what
been in
happens.
the closet. Scales goes both ways.
Yeah, this is,
Everything is, it's all love in the Technodrome.
that's right. That's a fact. Yes. But Dr. Mario, just a little more complex of a puzzle game to me. I mean, not that Tetris is easy, right? You obviously say you're trying to clear the lines, but you're also trying for the high score. But Dr. Mario, you have to not only match the colors to clear, but you also are trying to kill the viruses, which is the object of the game. So to me, it's just got a little more complexity to it, which I enjoy. And also, I think that Dr. Mario is a better two-player game, which I like to partake with Cast. And, when growing up, we would play that on Nintendo two-player mode with my friends and probably my brother. just more to me more fun as a two-player game as you're trying to race against each other to clear the viruses and who can do it first. The anxiety can get very high very quickly. Yes. So Dr. Mario for me. Cast, we're gonna leave this up to you, buddy. And I notice both of these games hold a special place in your heart, so it's fitting that you will be the one to decide.
Yeah, these are both games I've devoted large chunks of time to playing over the course of my life. Especially, I played them both when I was little, probably like 6 years old, 5 years old, whenever Dr. Mario came out, and then I got Tetris. I actually remember I used to be really bad about getting shots at the doctor, and I tried to run out of the office. And I remember my mom said if I was good, we could go get a toy. And we went to Toys R Us, and I got Tetris.
Yes. For Game Boy or Nintendo?
Nintendo. I didn't really have a
Nice.
Game Boy growing up. I did have one at one point, but I don't know what became of it. But we
Okay.
digress.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time playing both of these games, and then really started playing them a lot in high school, and I got very good at both. Tetris, normally I start on level 15. I could sometimes start on 18. 19 is like ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of
Point.
time playing them and really not even a
I know,
brag. I'm just saying, like,
I'm messing with you.
yeah, like, I've played these games so much. I've gotten to a very high level in these. Tetris, hours and hours and hours, and Dr. Mario, same. So Scales, like you said, the two-player mode in Dr. Mario is what makes it so great, because Tetris, there's two versions on Nintendo. There's a Nintendo version and Tengen. Tengen has a two-player, but I didn't have that version, and honestly, the regular Nintendo version is better. My knee-jerk reaction was to say, I'm gonna have to go with Tetris.
Oh.
When I'm flipping that, I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Mario, because I'm thinking about the two-player mode and how much I enjoy that. I could play both. I mean, if Tetris had the two-player mode for the Nintendo version, I might have liked it better. When I say Nintendo, I mean the one made by Nintendo, not by Tengen.
Right.
I might have gone with that. But Dr. Mario, it's clearing the viruses and being able to dump stuff on the second player.
Yep.
You just, in Tetris, the goal is to just clear your lines as you go, and you try to get the Tetris, try to get a Tetris whenever you can, which is 4 lines at once.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario, I like the competitive, sadistic aspect of setting up these complex moves. It's like, oh, I know this is going to be a bad one. Then you hear the sound, and then it drops a whole bunch of crap on whoever you're playing. It's very satisfying. It's just a more satisfying game to me. And also that you can clear a level. In Tetris, you don't clear a level. You just keep leveling up. There's no stop in between.
Right.
Dr. Mario, there's a clear objective on the screen. Clear everything that's there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to pick Dr. Mario.
Wow.
And if for no other
Nice.
reason, it's because it's a game that my wife and I have bonded over recently, and she's gotten really good. She can beat level 20.
That's sweet.
Just saying.
It's impressive.
I'll allow it.
Tuffy will allow it.
And it's an edge, really. I mean, they're both,
And it's only because I like Taylor, not just that's
they're both 10 out of 10 for me. It was just a matter of which one am I going to pick today. If you ask me tomorrow, I might have picked Tetris.
Yeah.
Let's reschedule for tomorrow then.
Okay, fine. You sign in first. We'll meet.
Okay.
Do we want to? So I have a couple interesting factoids and little trivia.
Ooh, give it to us.
All right. So we were debating we were talking about the year that these came out. So Tetris was created in '85, but didn't make its way over to Famicom and Nintendo until around '88, '89. And Dr. Mario dropped in 1990. So they were both like, they were head to head. And people will say, Nintendo released Dr. Mario to kind of make their own version of Tetris. But to me, they're very different games. I mean, you can say that any puzzle game is the same as the other because it's a puzzle. But to me, they're very different.
Right. I mean, they're both stuff falls games.
Right. Right.
And I think, as Duff was alluding to, I think you're either someone who likes falling stuff games or you're not.
Yep.
There is a spectrum. It's either like you love it, you hate it, but there are some people who are like, I could play it for a little bit, and then I think Duff falls. A little
That's
more
me.
towards the I don't like it side, but can play it.
Yep.
But yeah, like Scales, like you said, they are very different.
Yeah. And then I looked up, I was curious how many units have sold in history. And I'm on some Nintendopedia page or whatever, and they have Dr. Mario listed as, this is units sold for Nintendo Entertainment System and Game Boy, 10.19 million units. And then Tetris, so They say that they've sold 35 million on the Game Boy alone, and then the only other count I could find, which now includes mobile game versions of Tetris downloads. So they have sold, in their words, 425 million. Sorry, 425 million paid mobile downloads on top of the Nintendo and Game Boy. Their total is 520 million copies sold worldwide of any version of Tetris. Yeah,
little disparity there.
Yeah, a tad bit.
Did you see the Tetris movie?
I haven't yet.
No.
I still haven't watched it either. I have to.
No.
But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember again because I didn't really play Game Boy. But didn't Tetris come with Game Boy at one point? Did they package it? I thought I heard that alluded to in
It
trailers.
might have. I had it for Game Boy. That's where
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
a way to boost those
Yeah.
sales numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you're counting
Definitely.
each Game Boy sale as a Tetris
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's a landslide. Obviously, Tetris has
Yeah,
sold a lot more than
right.
Dr. Mario.
Yeah, it's much bigger, much more widespread. And I spent so many hours playing Tetris on my Game Boy when I was younger. Road trips, just sitting in bed. That was my go-to for Game Boy. I always had Tetris fired up. And then, like later
the
on
Switch.
to high school and college, I found my Game Boy in an old drawer and still had I think Tetris was the only cartridge I had left, and I would fire that up from time to time. So obviously passes the test of time, and it's just one of the greatest video games in history.
Oh, yeah.
But this was a good debate. Any other little lasting comments from anybody?
Mr. Dev.
I love the music from Tetris. It's so catchy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just really enjoyable to listen to. It just kind of like, I don't know, you hear it, you know exactly what it is. Kind of like a lot of the Nintendo music from that time frame, from that time period, which a lot of that stuff is lost nowadays. Like there's nothing definitive. It's just like, they use music from like, actual artists and bands and stuff now, and they throw those in sports games rather than just creating their own, which I don't know, that was just a cool part of that time period.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
And in Tetris, the Nintendo version, I'm talking not the Tengen, you could do music A, B, or C.
Yeah.
Always pick A, which is the Tchaikovsky, right? Is it Sugar Plum Fairy? Yeah, that's Tengen.
Oh,
that part, yeah. Yeah.
The NES one is a da 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
But if you ever pick music B or C, different game, especially C. C is like a little unsettling.
It's horrible.
Yeah. B is too frantic and C is a little otherworldly, and it just doesn't fit the game. And if you play with the music off, you're a maniac.
Yeah.
Scales, what about in Dr. Mario? Do you pick Fever or Chill?
I
playing with volume.
I flip a coin. I like them both, so it's just whatever one I'm in the mood for, I'll play. Yeah. How about you? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, they're both great, but I usually pick Chill because I feel like Fever makes me a little anxious after a little bit, especially if I'm playing like high speed level 20. And it's freaking out. I say like this because I play on the Switch all the time now.
Yeah, that's how I was gonna bring
So
it
you
up.
play like all the way up here?
Yeah, like that in bed. And it's all, I hooked up my Nintendo recently and played Dr. Mario on there. So much easier. Not that the game itself is easier, but using the regular controller, it's so much more responsive, and just everything happened. I was beating level 20 very easily, as opposed to like every 1 out of 3 tries or something like that.
Yeah, it's a whole different world. And we've had some on the Switch, like you said before, online. We've had some battles recently with Dr. Mario, and then I ended up subscribing to the upgraded online package. So I have the N64 on Switch, which has Dr. Mario 64, which I did not have as a kid. So I'm going back in time to play that, and it's just the same game with better graphics and some different versions of gameplay you can choose. So that's been fun. So check that out if you. Nice. Yeah, it's fun. Cool. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our little debate discussion on Tetris versus Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario was the winner amongst us. Let us know in the comments which one is your pick. Which did you enjoy playing as a kid? Which one has the fondest memories for you? Be sure to check us out on social media, Throwbacks Technodrome Pod, TikTok and Instagram, where you can check out all of our daily posts and clips that we make up, and clips from the show, and all sorts of fun stuff. And be sure to follow us, of course, here on YouTube, and like and subscribe. And until next time, we will see you down the road. Take care, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Are you gonna get drunk first, or are you gonna have major diarrhea?